Some things you can't talk out, you got to work out. Meaning that you can call a friend or sit down with someone and talk out your problems or talk out what you're going through mentally or whatever it may be. And that's good to an extent. Everything has a limit. But at a certain point, before you reach to call someone, you could at a certain point play out the conversation. And that's when you have to stop yourself from talking it out and just go to yourself to work it out. And it can be a range of things in life. What I'm thinking about as I make this video is I was struggling with buying a piece of property. And I called some close friends at times. And they allowed me to share several times. It was great conversations. I got a lot of feedback from a few people that I have in my inner circle. And it was great, very helpful, very therapeutic. But there's certain times, even now as I make this, that I think about, okay, do I need to just share with someone? And sometimes I do. But then I also say to myself, is it time for me now to talk this out again? Or is it time for me to work this out? Because remember, in life, you go to school, church, therapy, you talk to your friends. You do it with the purpose of gaining knowledge, help, understanding, so that eventually you can take that, apply it to your life, and you do the work of your life. And no one can do that other than you. And at a certain point, after all the talking it out, planning it out, you just got to go through it yourself. And it's never perfect. And even now, I sit here as I make this, I think about something in my life, and I was just going to make a phone call to someone, and I said, I've talked about this several times, and I may, at a certain point, call someone and talk this out again, because, when I share subjects, I'm not saying it's for every day, every time. I'm saying in general, is that you have to understand, it's like, I could call this person, and I may, because it's helpful at times, but also I said to myself, man, let me talk this conversation out with myself, because you can only have the same conversation so many times. And then you just got to look at yourself, and you just got to work that out. Okay. And that's healthy for you and your inner circle and the people in your life, therapy, church, whatever. Because look, at a certain point, you kind of exhaust that outlet, that friendship, that resource. You want to kind of, work on it. There's no way around. And I always say, when I was watching motivational YouTube videos years ago, when I was like at this turning point in my life, I really wasn't looking to people, the church. I was looking, just get some inspiration from somewhere I didn't know. And I was looking on YouTube, and I found an old wrestler who had turned to motivational speaking. And a couple of his videos had really grabbed me. And a big theme of them was, even though he did a lot of his things dedicated to physical fitness, a big theme of it was more or less, after you do all the planning, after you do all the talking, is you got to do the work. You got to do the work of your life. And when you face that reality yourself, it's good, even though it's painful, because you have to be able to catch yourself and say, oh man, am I going to talk about this shit again? And it's okay. And you still do. I still do at times. None of us are perfect, okay? But I'm trying to tell you, you keep working on yourself. And I have made progress. I could look at myself from 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. I've made progress. Okay? And there's been failure along the way. There's still failure. Everything's still not perfect. But because at a certain point, even if I exhausted it to, and you should research things, talk about things a lot until you get a certain level of understanding. But then at a certain point, you got to bite the bullet. You got to go forward. And then you fail. You got to get back up and figure out another path forward, right? So the message in this video, as I was just going through it myself, is I was ready to call someone about something. And it wasn't like a big thing, but it was just something I was thinking about doing something. And I said to myself, hold on, let me talk this out with myself. Let me work this out with myself. Because there's nothing new really to talk about here. And I still don't have the answer, to be honest with you, just sharing what. But at least for today, at least for this moment, the time now is to just work it out with myself. And that's healthy for me, healthy for the people in my life, healthy for the resources in my life. Because when I really do feel I need to talk it out, then I'll use that outlet, and, and that's good, and again, tomorrow may be a whole different story, right? You take life day by day and you try to get through each day as best you can. Some days are good, some days are bad. You try to have more good days than bad days. But for today, for this moment, I caught myself. And this is what self-control means. Self-control doesn't mean every day, every decision, we grab ourselves, we're perfect. It's not life. Okay? But self-control is a goal, like every goal. Financial freedom, physical health, good relationships. It's a goal because you're better to have goals than not. You'll go further in life. You'll live a better quality life with goals. And today, for this moment, I caught myself. I said, okay, let me work this out with myself because I think that's the best thing for today. And then you just get through the day. And then tomorrow may be different, right? But we take it day by day. And we start to use all these different conversations, all these different experiences in our life. And we don't start to, I'm going to use a curse word, so close your ears if you're sensitive. You don't want to mind fuck life, okay, to a certain degree. At a certain point, it's okay. Let me work it out and get it done. Or do nothing, but just do what I need to do for me. Okay? Because that makes you, look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, how much time is you going to bullshit? So I hope this helped a little bit in some way. You get it, okay? I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next video.